So let's get into Millie. She is one of the toughest kick-butt characters on the show. I absolutely adore her. She also brings a ton of positivity along with that toughness. So I think that it's a really wonderful mix. Now, I'm going to be going into a little bit between Millie and Moxxie, but I think that I'll do their relationship possibly as a separate video. I'm really dying to do Blitz and Stolas because I just love their relationship. There's something that is so poignant about it, so let me know if you are also waiting for that video to happen. So let's go a little bit into Millie and what are the different psychological things that have affected Millie to make her who she is today.
Humans are full of secret nasties. It's why so many of them end up here. But guilty and innocent aren't our business, Mox. Killing who we're paid to is our business. Shoot the target.
I love the interaction, the way that Millie interacts with Moxxie especially. Like, I love that she like grabs his face and kind of talks to him and like squishes his cheeks as she's trying to bring it in. She just seems to always know how to soothe him, how to comfort him, how to be there, and at the same time listening to what he says. I think that some people are really good at checking the tone of the situation and knowing when they should involve themselves and not. Millie doesn't always jump into situations. I think that she has a lot of what we call emotional intelligence. And that's a really difficult thing, especially for those that are more on the side of caretakers.
You are all making this into a way bigger deal than it needs to be. I don't pry into your stupid personal lives.
You do that,
totally
you
do that.
right, sir.
What was sex with her like?
Billy!
What? It's a pop star. You'd want to know what sex with Michael Crawford was like.
Touche.
Okay, look, let's just drop it.
Millie also has really strong, stable self-esteem. She knows who she is, and so she sees another beautiful woman, someone that's really popular, someone that other people might look up to. She doesn't want to undermine them. She doesn't attack them for who they are. It doesn't make her feel less than. A lot of times we look at other people and it makes us feel either better or worse about ourselves. There's always someone that's going to be more beautiful, more intelligent, more funny. That doesn't mean just because you find someone that's funnier than you are that means that you're any less of a person. You want to lengthen your own line, and that shows really strong, stable self-esteem. A lot of that happens from our parenting, and when we deal with Millie's parents, we can kind of take a look at some of the ways in which she was brought up that I think would have helped that. And once that's stable, then you don't end up having to look at everyone else around you and always feel like you're less than.
Ooh, fish.
I love Millie when she goes in to fight. She means business. She has that look, that just do or die look on her face. She always starts off with that fighting stance, like, right? She crouches down and she's ready for battle. And whenever you do a skill that you've mastered, that you're really, really good at, you're actually better under pressure. You don't have to think, you just do. And this is what Millie does. Wait, what happened there? What, did they fist bump? What was that? I think Moxxie like thought that they gave a high five at first. Like, it's just kind of funny. I don't know. I don't think that he had much hope for himself. I'm gonna go that he didn't understand what she wanted.
I love that woman.
Yeah, way to show off, Mills.
Is Mox okay?
Millie just has that kinesthetic knowledge. Some people are really good with one type of intelligence is kind of kinesthetic, knowing where your body's moving, what to do, and you're always in the right position. Some people have the opposite, non-kinesthetic knowledge, and their body's always in the wrong position and they feel like they're always tripping over themselves. Definitely not Millie. Millie is the one that you would want to be next to, or actually probably behind, in the zombie apocalypse. Any apocalypse, probably.
Nice one, B.
Give me another, Mox.
She's also almost always positive, but not in a saccharine way, in a way that's kind of encouraging, makes people feel good. It's not always, and it's not over the top. Her positivity is really contagious, and it's wonderful to have someone that's there. She supports you. She's really good at everything, but she also doesn't try to take away the limelight. She enjoys the limelight, but she also lets other people shine as well. She's not one of those people that has to have all the attention on her. People that are so positive and encouraging to other people's dreams, everyone else wants to be around them, because why wouldn't you want someone that is positive and encouraging to the things that you want to do? So she gives a lot of positive reinforcement to those. I'm gonna glue this back on. I'll be a moment. I hope they're in the right place. So it's wonderful to have someone that's really good at things and also a cheerleader in your corner. And I think Millie is that really wonderful cheerleader.
What do you want, sir?
Hey, hope I didn't wake you, Mox. How would you and Mills want to visit the Wrath Ring for some harvest this year?
The Harvest Moon Festival? Yeah!
Well, Millie likes the idea. Wait, where are you calling from? Of course.
She's just really positive and excited about anything that's kind of active or new. She's that extrovert that wants to try things, wants to do things, wants to be a part of things. We have to note that want for Blitz to be a part of this strong, monogamous, caring relationship. I think that's going to come back on our video for Blitz and Stolas.
Mama! Daddy!
Oh, how's my deadly little pumpkin spice doing?
I'm good, Pa. Thanks for letting us stay here for the Harvest Jamboree.
It's no trouble. We know you aren't making as much anymore since y'all went freelance.
So you can tell that there's a lot of love and affection in her family, but you also hear from the mom those little bits of judgment. And that can often mean when we don't feel like we're really living up to our parents' expectations, we can become overachieving and perfectionistic, that it seems like no matter how much we do, it's never really enough. And I think that that's why Millie is actually so good at everything that she does. She's constantly wanting and feeding off of her parents' approval. So even good traits from parenting and from people, if taken to the extreme, can become negative.
Freelance pays fine, Ma. We're doing fine. It's fine.
But you can tell she feels it, that it isn't fine, that she would actually like to make more money, probably because of her parents' influence. Even if we don't want to, even if we know that it's wrong, when you've been raised a certain way, it's hard to shed those values, those thoughts, those judgments. They often become our own inner voice, and they often drive us into certain areas. So if your parents ended up wanting you to be a painter and you ended up becoming a lawyer, you may feel that you're never really living up to their expectations. But maybe you'd feel like you're living up to society's expectations. Sometimes different when society and your parents are not on the same page.
Anyway, y'all remember my husband, Moxxie?
Greetings, Lynn. Joe, how have you been with all the flaming twisters and stuff around here?
We lost our old farmhand to one of them terrors last week.
Oh, crumbs.
For a lot of parents, they feel like no one is good enough. No one will actually live up to their expectations. But I think that for Moxxie, it's even a little bit more different.
Blitz, is it? That's a fine name.
It reminds me of war.
You know, more battles were won by technological advances in warfare. I've researched the history of weaponry extensively. I mean,
Moxxie sometimes doesn't always read the room. He isn't paying attention, but right away you can see the values, the things that Millie's father and Millie's mom feel are good values, which is war, being tough, being strong, battling, and it's brawn, not through intelligence. So Moxxie's trying to say that there are other things that can make things better. Sometimes you should think your way out of issues. It's not just going head on, but it's not the time and place to do that right now. Sometimes it's better to pay attention to what they like, not do anything, then jump head first into assuming that you can teach them the error of their ways. That often just offends people.
I can't believe you let him trap you, Millie. Haven't we taught you better?
I was seeing red, Ma, and he was slippery.
Excuses. You're better than that, Mildred.
you know, she protected me.
And that's the thing of that it's never good enough. And when you make a mistake, if your parents are harsh and judgmental, one is you may never actually tell them. Often parents want the best for their children, and so to do that, they want to be tough on them. They want to teach them every single lesson. Even when you're an adult, they're constantly, what they think is teaching you to be better, trying to have you learn different lessons. But really what the child feels is that they're just being constantly criticized. And what often will happen is that when you do make a mistake, you're not going to tell them because you just don't want to hear that kind of judgment. And so you end up with this separated relationship where you can't really share when times are tough and things are bad. And that actually can be exceptionally dangerous because it's when the chips are down that you need your parents, when you've actually screwed up, that you want someone there to be able to love and support you. So you want to be careful of those critical parenting techniques. Sometimes you think you're just being honest or just helping. Catch that. When your children are now adults, it's no longer your time to be the parent. Now you should be a supportive figure in their life and let them learn on their own unless they ask. And if they're not asking, there's probably a reason for that. You might have to say something. If things get really, really bad, you may need to jump in. But most of the time I'd say hold off, try to be supportive, try to do more listening at that point in time.
Millie, honey, everything okay?
Yeah, just bumped into an ex.
Oh,
I like the way that her tail kind of wobbled like those door stoppers, you know, when they hit it kind of like makes that noise. But this also shows that Millie can be really exuberant, but that means that when you are often, it's like the pendulum swings both ways. If you can be really positive and really happy, you can be really fiercely angry and ferocious and sometimes scary for everyone around you. The good thing with Millie though is that she can vent off her emotions and they don't settle in. Some people are more brooders. That means that when they hold their emotions in, they're going to keep them for a really long amount of time. Emotions are fed by the story that we tell ourselves. So if you keep on telling yourself, this is horrible, I can't believe it, you're actually going to keep that feeling, that emotion in your mind for longer. You're setting off more receptors by it. And for Millie, she gets it out, and then after she's vented it, unfortunately, on everyone else that's around you. And that's the problem. If you yell, scream, stomp, you're giving that feeling to everyone else. You might feel better, but it might be at the cost of everyone else that's there. And you can see that even though Moxxie handles this so beautifully well, that he's worried for her, but he's feeling a negative emotion because of that. So you do want to be careful the way that you vent off your feelings, and you also don't want to keep them in. So you want to find healthy ways such as talking, exercise, going off into another room, journaling, talking to a friend so that you feel better. And make sure the friend feels good about you venting off to them. Sometimes they can't handle it, and that's okay.
but that's all circumstantial at best.
Now he's looking around and heading into that locked boathouse we heard about. That would be the perfect place to... Fine, Mox. We'll do it your way.
So in this, Millie, who's now dressed as Millard, knows that Moxxie needs this. He needs to be able to shine, to take something up, and she's good at everything. It's hard to be around someone that's always the one that's right, that's smart, that's able to handle things, that can take care of things, and faster than you can. It's a really hard thing when you know the right answer to be able to let other people shine as well. But that's actually the true leadership skill, to be able to give everyone their time in the limelight, to be able to grow even if you're making a mistake. So I think that this is a really beautiful personality trait, to be able to step back so other people can step forward even if you're right and even if you can do it. And you can tell by her voice tone that she's okay with this. She's not doing this with any spite. She's not hoping that he fails. She's really there to be able to support him as he goes forward with this. And that's a very hard thing to do for most people.
Look how beautifully tan he is.
I got it!
That was the best spike I've ever seen.
Everyone loves Millie and Millard. It's hard for everyone else around. If you know someone that's talented at everything and loved with everything, it's hard for everyone else to be around you. Sometimes that can make people push you away because you're going to take all of the limelight. And I think that Millie's done a great job of being able to let other people shine, even though she also loves the attention that she gets as well, being loved and cared about. There is something that feeds us very deeply, that inner sense of group dynamics, wanting to be a part of things and wanting to be looked up to because of that. It's really addicting. If ever you've been on social media and someone's loved a post and you get a lot of traction, you can feel that want to do that again and again. And for a lot of people, they can kind of get sucked into that addiction of needing other people's affirmation, which is not healthy because you keep on chasing it and it goes away. It's not something that's real. You always need that next hit.
Look at me, Moxxie. Me, Moxxie. Me.
Moxxie? You okay? Moxxie, what's going on?
It's really hard for us when we see someone that we care about hurting and we know that it's our actions that have caused them pain. It often can make us, for some people, feel so bad that we actually try to push them away, or we say mean things, or we try to demean them so that we don't have to own that we had a part in that. And it's definitely a higher skill to be able to own and accept that it was your actions and then to comfort the other person.
It's just my time of the month.
Honey, no.
I just want to go home.
Hey, big guy. I know you can do this. You're the best assassin / musician / preteen girl I know.
And investigator.
And investigator. Look, I know it's been tough. Just keep playing to your strengths.
So the only part about this is that they're not really dealing with the elephant in the room, the jealousy that's happening between Moxxie and Millie, because they're both vying for the same attention. One's doing it really well and one isn't. So that would be the only piece that I think is missed from this. And so because of that, that becomes an issue that can keep on happening in a relationship. You always want to bring things to the relationship if you think that if it continues to happen, that it's going to really hurt you or bother you. And then you have to think, is it a me issue or is it a relationship issue? Sometimes it's a you issue. And so you want to also let the other person know, but also say, I'm going to work on it myself as well.
You have all week to get it right.
Okay. Thank you.
But the good thing is that she didn't leave him. She didn't avoid it. She didn't pretend that she doesn't hear him, which would have made Moxxie feel like he's really alone. So it was good that Millie was there, that she addressed it, and she took the time to be able to hear what he was saying.
Why does it matter so much how these yokels feel about you?
It doesn't. It matters how I feel about myself. And for once, I feel like I'm important. Like I'm somebody to be proud of. And I had hoped that my husband would be there to support me half as much as I've supported him this week.
Millie, I didn't mean...
Save it, Mox. You could have finished that job anytime if you had just listened to me. But you wanted to do things your way. So fine, finish the job, go home if you want to, but I'm gonna have my moment with or without you.
And I think that would have been important to have that discussion in a softer way. What happened is that Millie's been keeping in all of these emotions and she hasn't felt that kind of unconditional support from her parents. And so because of that, this means even more to her. To have people to appreciate her different talents and get that kind of affirmation, but it's not from the person that she really wants to. And I think that Moxxie wasn't paying attention to that. So because she's held all of these feelings in and didn't share it earlier, it comes out with much more aggression and frustration than it would have if they had shared it a little bit earlier. I think that that's a very common trait for people that have kind of harsh, more gruff parents. They're often the ones that are there to bring happiness and lightness to the home. That's usually their job, their role. So they can be really supportive, but when you have someone that's always supportive, then sometimes you may not notice when they actually need support because that hasn't been the role that they have. They're not the ones that need support. They're always the ones that give support. So sometimes the people around them kind of forget or don't really think that they might also want love and support. It might even be shocking. They're like, what, you need support? You never need support. You're always good at everything you do. Why would you need support? And it's kind of the dance that we teach each other. When you don't tell other people what you need and specifically say it, no, people aren't psychic. They're not going to think of it on your own. We all hope that they're going to suddenly magically figure it out. You have to specifically ask for what you need. Your job as a person is to teach other people how to treat you. And how you do that is by saying it. They're not going to figure it out. If they were going to figure it out, they would have already figured it out. And so I think that that's why this happened.
You ready to go on, champ?
I guess.
Great.
And even people that are extroverted or good at things, that doesn't mean that they don't get stage fright or they don't feel nervous before they do something. A lot of times when we see someone that has a very strong persona, we assume that they don't feel any fear or nervousness. And because she rarely asks for help or support, because she would probably see that as a weakness that she doesn't like sharing and she doesn't even feel comfortable with doing it, sometimes we don't specifically say it. But that doesn't mean that other people don't feel it.
I am very proud to introduce to you someone with abilities never before seen on this earth. Someone with the raw athletic skill of an Olympian, the voice of an angel, the acrobatic technique of an indentured 12-year-old Russian ballerina, and a body that just doesn't quit.
I love that even though for Moxxie it was really hard to see someone else thriving, that he was able to truly take the stage and be there to support Millie so very fully. And I love that his voice changed as it became something that was true. Like he wasn't putting on a show, and so I think it was really important that he used his true voice to be able to say it so she could really hear that it was coming from him, that he really does see her and he really is proud of her. And I think that all of us kind of hope to have that really honest validation that someone sees us and appreciates us for the values and the traits that we have.
Looks like you did it.
No, you did it. I'm so proud of you, Millie. And I'm sorry I let you down.
Just don't do it again, dummy.
She's able to really accept someone else's compliment. She doesn't force him to have to go through this long, arduous apologies. She really just accepts him as he is and feels appreciative that he gave the apology that he did. So I love that she's just like, just don't do it again, dummy. Like, it's just a cute way to be able to accept the apology and for it to be kind of true and to the heart. Accepting an apology is also really important, not just how you give one, but how you accept it from someone else so that they understand. But she still gives the check of, I'm saying it's okay, but don't continue this behavior. That's not okay. And then, yeah, they're, cuddling after. I don't know, I think it's more than cuddling, but yeah. Want to be as good as Millie is at fighting, but at learning? Well, then stick around for our sponsor, Brilliant.org. That's a wonderful way that you can help me and learn a new skill and be prepared for whatever life or death has to throw at you. What better way than enhancing your mind? And Brilliant makes college level courses. I know, college level. It seems really scary and terrifying, but Brilliant is designed for high velocity learning, but it doesn't make it difficult. It actually will help you reach your goals demonically fast. It makes learning like a game with fun features that let you challenge yourself, compete with others, and never gets boring. And if you are ever stuck, you can just cut it up into smaller, littler pieces. And I'm a visual learner. That's the way that I learn the most quickly and it sticks more. And that's what it has. All of these cute little animations that teach you all of these different concepts to make it so much more clear. And Brilliant has thousands of lessons. They have math, chemistry, physics, engineering, computer science, all of these scary, scary skills that you might have said, you know what, this is going to be too difficult for me. No, it's not with Brilliant.org. I've already done their courses on algebra, logic, geometry, and I found them really engaging. I have decided that I would like to practice a skill just 15 minutes a day. I'm gonna think about doing their course on coding because I would love to learn how to code. There's no pressure. And they also have new courses such as large language models and probability. Very, very cool. If you're still not sure, you can try everything everything that Brilliant has to offer for free for 30 days. Just head on over to brilliant.org/Georgia Dow or click on the link in the description. And if you love it, you can get 20% off an annual premium subscription. Yes, use my link, please. Just head on over to the button on the screen or go to brilliant.org/Georgia Dow. Clicking on that button helps support me and my channel, and thank you to Brilliant for supporting all of my videos, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. So that's a little bit of my psychology of Millie and all of her personality traits. You can let me know your thoughts of Millie in the comments below, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.